my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm the City Witch. So as promised, I'm going to be filming a video showing you how to work with an animal-based tarot deck to discover your directional animal spirit allies for the year ahead. So I do recommend that you conduct this reading as early in the year as possible or towards the end of the year before. So for me, I tend to do mine at the end of the year, ready for the year ahead. So we're filming this in 2023. So the reading that I did, I conducted between Christmas and New Year of 2022, ready for 2023, so that I know which guides are coming forward. I've got plenty of time to do all of my research as well, write up all my information and understand that animal a little bit better and how it's going to work with me and help me for the year ahead and what elements and energies it's going to rule over as well. So for this particular video, I've chosen to work with the Arc Animal Tarot. It's also an oracle deck, and the deck itself with the oracle combined is 100 cards. And then if you buy all the expansions like I did, you end up with tons of extra cards. So there's over 100 different animals, insects, birds, amphibians within this deck. And also, if you buy the expansions, there is a mythology one and a dinosaur one. So you can work with some really unusual animals for your totems if you choose to get this deck. So I do absolutely recommend this. The guidebook is absolutely massive and packed full of information. And then on each of the cards as well, I'll just show you one so you can see. So here's an example. So here we have these symbols at the top. This particular symbol I'm looking at is for Earth. And then you have the animal, what it rules over. And then you have these tiny extra symbols here. So I hope you can see that, guys. This is a leaf symbol. And the leaf symbol in this deck, that one is shamanic. So it gives you extra energies, extra insight, lots of information, loads of mythology and guidance when it comes to these animals. And you can work with them in a specific way. So this one you can work with in a shamanic style. So you can look at extra information about that. And you know it's an earth element. So you could place this in the north that rules over the earth if you wanted to work with the oracle deck, because this is one of the oracle cards, guys. And look how beautiful they are as well. And then this is the back of it. So absolutely stunning cards, tons of animals to work with. So this is a fantastic choice for this kind of work, especially if you want to get into working with animal magic. So that being said, let's now divide up our tarot and I will show you what you're going to be doing. So stay tuned. So you're going to grab yourselves a piece of paper, and what you're going to do is you're going to write all of this information on it, making sure to leave plenty of space for you to fill in what animal guides you get for your directions. So start with the title, so directional animal guides, and then write down north, east, south and west, and then spirit. Spirit for me is on the back of this paper because I just couldn't fit it on here. I left plenty of space. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write down what that associates with. So the north is the pentacles in the tarot, ruling over the elements of earth. And then I've given the symbol for that. And then the area of life it rules over, just to give you a little insight, is the same as the pentacles. So it's home, family, money, career, material possessions, and mundane life. And it also represents health and well-being. And it should look like that, guys. And then for the east, that rules over the element of air, and I've given the symbol. Now in your tarot, it will depend on your tarot deck. So wands and swords are interchangeable, and sometimes the swords are air and sometimes it's the wands. So put whichever suit it is for you in that zone. So for the time being, I've just wrote wands and then the element of air. And the east, as I say, is always the element of air, and that rules over intellect, teaching, learning, planning, knowledge, and problem solving. And then for the south, for me, I've put swords, but of course for you, that might be the wands, and it rules over fire. And again, I've given the symbol for that. And then that rules over change, actions, passions, desires, and animal instinct. Now, with actions, you may also choose to write reactions, because how you react to something also falls under the element of fire. And then we have west, which is cups or chalices in your tarot deck, and it's the element of water. And again, I've given the sigil for that. And then that rules over emotions, relationships, connections, love language, and empathy. And then for spirit, if I flip this over, so spirit would reside in the middle, and then it represents the major arcana in your tarot, or if you're using an oracle deck, it would be any spare cards you have, or if you wanted to choose a deck that has mythological creatures in it, you can choose that to represent your major arcana instead, so that you have more choices to work with different guides from different realms and different magical abilities. And of course it represents spirit, which is the circle as the symbol, and that rules over your higher guidance and your ancestors and your spirit team, intuition, higher self, spirituality, or religion if you're more religious, and it represents your faiths and your beliefs in this lifetime. Okay, so that's what it should look like. So now that's been said, this is what your deck should look like when you split it up. And then you want to just put the cards into their respective zones. So obviously for the north, that is Pentacles because it's the element of earth. And then over here, I've put the Wands because in this deck, Wands is the fire element. Of course, that's going to sit in the south. And then for your Cups or Chalices, that's going to sit in the west for water. And then over here we have Swords, which sits in the east for the element of air. And then normally you would place your major arcana in the center. However, these are quite chunky cards and I don't think there's quite enough space for you to see that on the camera. So for now, I've just popped them to one side. So these of course would be face down, and then you would shuffle each section one at a time, and then you would flip them over and it would show you which animal guides would like to work with you. If you want to do a prayer, a meditation, or come up with a mantra to say before you do this, you can do that, guys, no problem. And all I did was I took time to shuffle cards, connect with them, and I just opened myself up to the animal kingdom, and I just simply said, reveal to me the animal spirit that wishes to work with me and represent the element of spirit for the year 2023. And there we go. And then that's the raven. And then the beautiful thing about working with this deck, guys, is you have these extra symbols on them, and you have these here. So I'll just show you that closer. So you've got these tiny little symbols here. So we've got a leaf, we've got a yin yang symbol and a triquetra. You're also going to get this symbol at the top, and these all mean extra things. And I'm going to show you what they mean now in the guidebook, just to give you extra information of why this is quite good. So here, obviously, you have these symbols. So they represent Earth, cosmos. So if I just show you the raven again, so the symbol we got on here is the cosmos symbol. And then of course, other symbols you can get is fire, water, air, spirit, and shadow. So there's quite a lot of extra insight. And then at the bottom, those tiny symbols connects to either shamanic, Asian, Celtic, mythological, Australian, or prehistoric. Then you will also get the cards in a regular playing deck, what they are. So swords is spades, wands is clubs, cups is hearts, and pentacles is diamonds. And then you may get an astrological symbol for either Western mythology or Chinese. So this relates to astrology. And then further to that, there's certain planets that rule over that. So you could take it a step further and actually write on this spare sheet which planet connects to which star sign and rules over it, which would give you even more insight. So there's lots and lots of information in this book. And then just to show you what you would get in the guidebook. So here we have the jellyfish, which is the Queen of Cups. So it gives you lots of information about the Queen of Cups all on that side. So that is your tarot meaning. But then over here, you have the animal information. So you've got the spirit animal meaning, and then it breaks it down to if it's a spirit animal, a totem, and a power animal, and what to expect from that. And then all the information is there for you. So you don't have to do too much research if you don't want to with this deck, because it gives you lots of information. So it's quite an in-depth guidebook. But the other thing I wanted to say, guys, just briefly, where are we? So you also get an oracle deck with this particular deck. And I've split it up already to make it easy for me. But these split into elements as well, which would actually give you loads of different animals to work with. So here, this particular set is Earth. So you can place that with your pentacles. And then this set here is the air element. So you would place that with your East. And then here we have extras for your fire element, so in the south. And then we have water, and then these are extra spirit allies. So they would sit with your major. Now look at all the potential animals now that you have to work with. So there are tons and tons of animals that now you can connect to. So this deck is brilliant for that. And then with all the extra information, all the extra symbols as well, it's going to give you loads of layered information and ways to work with your animals, and lots of different possibilities when it comes to working with them magically as well. So I do absolutely recommend this deck if you want to discover animal guides, because you have so many different options, because there are well over 100 different animals, whereas most tarot obviously is a lot smaller. Oracle is smaller again, so you're limiting what you can work with and what you can potentially learn from the animal kingdom. So if you are big on working with animals and you do want to connect to more animal guides, I do recommend this deck 100%. But what you could do in order to make this bigger is work with a tarot and an oracle at the same time. Just split up your oracle in a way that makes sense, making sure you choose the animals that would logically go with a certain element, and then don't remove any that you don't want to work with as well, because I know people are tempted to, you know, if they got this, for example, a shrimp, they might go, oh, that's a pathetic animal, I don't want to work with that, or I don't even like shrimp, or I'm allergic to shrimp. So they might go, ugh, I'm not doing that. And then they'll keep shuffling until they get maybe, I don't know, the eel, and go, oh yeah, that's cooler, I like the eel, I'll work with that. But that wasn't the true animal that came through to you, nor is it the one that has lessons for you. So if you're trying to put life lessons to the eel that you're getting, you're going to get confused, because actually the shrimp was your guide, and the shrimp will have lots of different things to teach you. I mean, the energies on this card, it says combat, vision, and vibrational sensitivity. So this could be taking you on the journey of the empath and showing you're sensitive to external information and you know, energies that are coming through to you, and you might be going on a very psychic journey that the shrimp specifically is trying to take you on. Now if you're experiencing those things and you're trying to change it with the eel, you're going to go, well, apparently masculinity, virility, and flexibility in my energy. So how does that explain what I'm going through and the experiences I'm having? So you're not going to get the true meaning because you replace the shrimp with the eel. So try not to push animal spirits to one side, because they all have their place, they all have their purpose, and they all are here to help you. Now, even though you don't connect to it, you might even be afraid of some of these animals. You know, there are some people that really don't like insects, so having a butterfly hovering around them, even though they're pretty and they don't mean harm, could be really terrifying to somebody. But there could be a really serious lesson there that the butterfly is trying to teach you, or it's trying to help you get over your fear in some way, or go deeper and understand why that fear exists. And it could be related to a past life. So try not to push animal spirits to one side, try to work with them openly, try to embrace them and see what you get. And if anybody does work with this deck or does do any of these spreads and figure out what animals they get, please let me know. I'd be fascinated, and let me know what experiences you have as well based on this, and if you had some positive experiences or not. I'd be really keen to get some feedback, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you've enjoyed this and that you try working with animals for yourselves. If you do enjoy the video, please remember to give me a thumbs up, click the bell so YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. If you'd like to offer like, love and support to my channel, you can do that through Patreon or my Amazon wishlist. If you'd like to book me for any of my magical services or for a tarot reading, or you'd like some input on this, you can contact me through any of the channels and links provided, which is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course via email. Thank you very much, guys, for supporting me and watching till the end. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon for my next video. Take care of yourselves. Blessed be.